This is Embrace 2020, bringing a spark of positivity from industry professionals into your home.
So hello everyone, this is another episode of Embrace 2020 and we're bringing a spark of positivity from industry professionals to your home. Today we'll be talking about artist management in bizarre time of Corona, and hopefully we'll also discuss how to make 2021 a better year if there's an opportunity for that. My name's Dartsya Tarkovska. I'll be moderating today's discussion with our wonderful guests. First of all, we have Katherine Maliukova from Ukraine. She's an artist manager of Ivan Dorn, and also she works with an emerging band called Kalush. On top of that, she does international booking for the Ukrainian label Masterskaya. Our second guest is Lea Preissler. She's a co-founder of Pennywine Entertainment. She works with artists like Laura Lato, Nova, and others. And on top of that, she's a coach for many emerging acts from Germany. So, ladies, basically we have just one ground rule here. I will kindly ask you to avoid complaining, whining, and telling sad stories because we're really trying to keep it on the bright side. And with all saying that, probably the first very much straightforward 2020-ish question I can ask is, well, what was the best thing happened to you in 2020 in terms of your profession? Lea, maybe let's start with you.
Okay, I really thought a lot about that question because it isn't that easy, but there were many aspects that I find positive. And the most thing I accepted was that it was the perfect time to go back to the roots, to show artists and musicians that it's not all about getting on stage and that there's a whole many more things to do and to rethink all the years. And that's what we did with our artists, to look at the roots, to check the DNA, to check the image, more talking about why you do that, what do you want to say, who do you want to be, and getting more connected to other artists. And in my opinion, I think that networking changed, but in a different and sometimes better way. We had a lot more time to interact with other persons from the industry and with other artists, and there were a lot of really nice conversations and leading to new projects and stuff like that. And another thing, I think COVID showed our society and the government how important creativity, creative people, music, arts is, and that it's not a luxury we are talking about, it's a necessity. And I really, really hope that the government learns that the way they are now working with artists isn't the right way, and that there will be more importance to that people, and that we, that we grow with this and learn about that. Yeah, that's what I can say about it.
That's an interesting topic about the government. I think we'll get back to it a bit later. Katerina, what about you?
Actually, as we were talking about 2020 for Evandorn Crew, we were planning to have like creative vacation the whole year because Ivan wanted to have a break and to not to do concerts. So actually for me, the happy thing the happy thing was that I didn't have to cancel the whole tour things or something, and I don't have to postpone it or something. I had no this headache. So, and one more really nice thing for me was that I had to find something new in doing, because I was really I was getting ready for this vacation year, and I was wondering what should I do, and I started to work I have found a new artist for myself. So I discovered Kalush, and I really enjoy young hip hop music, and that was the real discovery for me. And I decided to devote this year for developing their concert management, and that was was just the nice idea for me, but I cannot say that I really succeeded in this stuff, because for the band this is really tough time, because they are just emerging, and this year was the time for them to go to the whole to all the festivals in Ukraine and to develop as a big band. And we had no concerts this year, so we had like several concerts and we had no festivals. But for me, festivals is the real platform to develop new bands. So we failed in this thing, and all the thing that we are doing now is just recording and issuing the new material and video and staying live and online, and trying to keep and develop our fan base, but unfortunately without that much live activity in the concerts. And that's the thing that makes it slower for the young band to develop, and young and promising band. That's the thing.
Actually, a good one. This one got me thinking. This year there was a huge topic whether artists need to release their music just like they planned whenever they want to, or should they wait for a better time. And I've seen artists selecting both ways. What do you think? What would be the better approach here?
I think that it depends on your goals, and how much it costs to you, whether you can afford it or not, and what are your plans. So if you this is not a secret for anyone that this year the streamings, they went down. So and they fell for approximately 30% at least. So this is not the best time for releasing album, because it won't be that successful. It won't receive that much influence on people. And maybe for big artists and big bands, when you invested too much money, and maybe you are recording this album somewhere in good studio and do mixing and mastering with the great professionals, maybe it's time to postpone it. But I still think that you still need to do something to be to stay live for your fans, and for your fans to remember that you still exist. Because right now we face that kind of problem, that whenever you do nothing, you're not supported by Instagram feed, you're not supported by Facebook feed, so your views and your viewers, they see you less. And that's the point for the artist, still to do something, still to produce something. Maybe it can be not releasing album, but still there should be some singles, some videos, maybe it's participating in some interviews, or this year in Ukraine we had like not several, we had we had several films for music and creative industries. And as well we had a series of online documentary films supported by alcohol brands, showing what's on the backstage, what behind the scenes of the music production and music itself. So, and this was the point for musicians to get their activity.
That's a good one. Lea, did it work in the same way for your artists?
It's really the same. Just one thing, if you are an artist that some artists do music that you disappear live. if you're an artist that works live, it's really a problem with releasing music. But if you're like an electronic artist, you're just like doing singles and stuff like that, release, it's okay. And if you are really successful, maybe the people have more time to check out your new album, but for successful bands. So you have to decide by yourself. And there are many discussions because artists are like sometimes like children, and they paint a paint and they go to their mom and it's not even ready yet, but they're like, look at it, look at it, look at it. So if you have new music, you want to share it, you want to bring it out. And it's all about learning and calm down, breathe in. And it's a nice opportunity, like Katrina said, to check out the DNA, to firstly get a straight image. We made a lot of talks on Instagram with other artists, like a talk program. Radio stations had time for playing new music and newcomer and upcoming artists. That was really nice. We had a lot of online festivals, streaming concerts. Now it's not the big thing anymore. Nobody wants to see online concerts, but we are talking about artist management and don't need to give a solution for that, so that's good. But yeah, there are many things you can do instead of releasing. So it's the same as Katrina said.
Okay, but speaking of online concerts, I'm wondering if you tried to do it with your artists. If yes, how did it go? If no, why?
I am also leading a coaching program for upcoming artists, and we made like 40 online streaming concerts, and it wasn't on Instagram. It was a new platform where you can raise money. You can sell your merchandise and stuff like that. It was really, really nice for upcoming artists, and they had a platform. They could show what they are doing. It was more interactive than a concert. They could chat with them, they could speak to them, ask questions and stuff like that. So we did 40 with other artists, but only once. Everybody only once, because after that there's no need anymore for it. Yeah, but we did it.
That's a good one. Katerina, how did it go for you?
If we are speaking about Ivan, he's not a fan of online concerts, so there was no online concerts at all, because we believe, let's say that we are a bit old school in this way, and we believe that the magic of live concerts, it's not the same. So there is no magic at all when you're performing live. There is just the screen, and you do not perceive the energy from the artist, and you're not and even staying at home and watching online concert, you are not always focused on the concerts. You are not always focused on the energy. That's why you can be chopping onions, or frying some fries, or doing something else and watching the band playing. And if it's some kind of energetic music playing, they are putting this energy
quickly. You're chopping quickly.
But I think that you do not even start chopping it quicker, because you won't perceive this energy, and this energy goes to the empty space in front of the stage, in front of this band playing. And this is some kind of strange thing, actually. But if we're speaking about online concerts, in the acoustic version, some kind of a relaxed music and relaxed atmosphere behind the band, this is just another thing, and this is really nice type of communicating with your fan base and with your audience. You can do it, but you cannot do it all the time. You can do it just 1 or 2 times with special programs which are adopted for this situation, and it can be really good.
Right. So this is a really tricky thing. On one hand, some online digital formats simply ruins the whole magic. On the other hand, 2020 was screaming, do me digital, everything is digitalizing. And I'm wondering, did you came up with some other online promotional tools or tips and tricks, like maybe TikTok, I don't know, Patreon accounts, anything like that? So yeah, wondering about your opinions on this.
With our artists, but in the artist program I'm working with, some artists did that, but only the one. It's always the same answer. If it fits to you, do it. You really have to look for Patreon if your artist is the right person for that. And the same with TikTok. Just because you're an artist doesn't mean that you have to go on TikTok. Maybe you are not funny or spontaneous, or yeah, you have to check it out.
Okay, Katya, what about you?
Okay, this year, actually, we didn't. When we're talking about Kalush, yes, we started to develop TikTok platform and Instagram as well. And Oleg, as a band leader of Kalush, he does a lot of collaborations with bloggers, with other people. He get bloggers to his studio and learning them to rap. And this is the nice thing for him, to get the new fans, to get the new auditorium, so that they can see. He has like really fast flow, so that even Ukrainians can understand what he's rapping about. Yeah, so that's the nice thing for him, to develop and get more new fans. When we're talking about Ivan, so Ivan Dorn is quite popular artist, and he has a lot of fans. So we're not developing TikTok. This year we had we were more focused on the collaborations with the brands. So Ivan is a brand ambassador of Martini. So we did a series of DJ sets, but we put it like the desk for gliding. Yeah.
Ironing?
Yes, for ironing. Yes, we put it the desk for ironing somewhere in his studio, in somewhere on the green grass just near the house, showing that we're, let's say, in some kind of a home style. He did the DJ sets. He went online on his YouTube, and it was nice way for people to get entertained. It was not singing, it was DJing, but still it was a really nice way to get on with the fans.
Okay, this is sweet. You mentioned working with brands, and that got me to another thought. I'm going to be real careful on this one. So, obviously, 2020 brought huge financial losses, which is quite a specific topic to discuss in a positive podcast. However, I'm wondering if you found some other ways to monetize your music to compensate the losses, maybe, I don't know, new monetization channels or government support, anything like that.
For us, this year is not about governmental support at all. For I think that Ukrainian music have nothing to do with this thing, but we have some grants, and some companies apply for these grants and get some kind of a support, but as a new thing to do. But actually we did it before, but as a new thing to do, and for more young artists to do and to pay attention to this, is writing music for films and to do the music production, because previously most of musicians didn't think about it. This year there is more films which are done in Ukraine, so maybe this is the way to get to this thing, and maybe to write music to the TV shows, or so to focus on the video production. If we are talking about Patreon, I think that the funds from it are not that high. So this is not huge money which you can raise from doing the Patreon. Still, I see musicians who do Patreon, and they are accumulating their fan base in another way, and this is also the great thing to do. This year, I think that is mostly for collaborations and for collaborations between artists, between different music styles, even between musicians and brands, between musicians and films. So this year is about standing up from the chair which you are sitting in and go somewhere to another room and find new abilities, new possibilities, new abilities in yourself, and the new possibilities for your business, for your brand, for your band. So this year is all about it.
Yeah, feeling pretty much the same here. Lea, how did it go for you?
In Germany, we have support programs by the government because they were the one deciding to close everything, so they can't earn their money. But in reality, these programs aren't really made for artists, and it shows more and more that they really don't understand how artists work. And we had support programs for the fixed costs. I don't know if it's the right word in English. So what fixed costs does a artist have? They don't have an office they are paying for or something. So they got their money and were like, what? I can spend the money for like fixed costs, but I don't have them. They can't pay their rent. They can't buy food with it or equipment or anything else. So yeah, they had money, but they couldn't couldn't spend it. Yeah, and they have to give it back. So it just showed the problem that our society and government don't know what the real life of an artist is looking like, and the percent of the artists that live from their income isn't that high in Germany. Yeah, they are really big popular artists, but there are also many artists that aren't that popular, earning their money with live concerts and stuff like that, and not recorded music. And yeah, there wasn't a program for it, but as Katharina said, we had to look after new income ways, like Netflix series, making music for a Netflix series, or getting together with brands and stuff like that, and just yeah, looking for new ways to get the income.
Wow, this is actually so relatable. I think up until the COVID era, there was like a state of mind that the music industry has nothing to do with the government. They don't know us, they don't need us, and so like that's kind of mutual thing. And now we're here, and now we are like supposed to meet and to learn how to talk to each other properly. So I feel like that's a huge way to go, probably up to at least 2021.
Yes.
I'm wondering, do you have any plans for 2021 at this point?
Okay, yes. For Kalush, we have postponed the release of the album for the spring 2021. So yes, we have scheduled the album release for the spring, and I hope that festivals and concerts will come back, so we will have some possibility, yeah, to have tours and to show the music and to show them what we can. As for Ivan, we have like several plans. We are still discussing some, but I cannot tell them right now because this is not the fact yet.
We are only three talking with each other.
Yeah, but there can be other things. So yes, we will be staying still first part of the year. We will be staying still in the studio recording some new material, and we plan to do the release for autumn. I'm that kind of a person which is better feeling with putting things on a pencil and not stating that we're gonna have it, because whenever you state that we're gonna have it, you say it to yourself, you say it to the band members, and whenever it's not happening, everyone's get frustrated. So for not getting frustrated, let's say that everything is on a pencil and we will be flexible. Like, yes, the vocabulary for 2020, there was no word. So they decided not to pick a word for 2020, but actually the word for 2020 is flexibility. Everything that you need now, you need to be flexible, you need to go with the flow, you need to be happy with what you have.
Wow, flexibility. Yeah. I love it. I love it. The concept of flexibility is an absolute must. Lea, how flexible are you going to be?
It's the same as Katarina said. It's much about mindfulness. It's about take a deep breath. And I think all the people I know in the music industry, including me, are people working 24/7, always a bit on the burnout and a bit problems with mental health and physical and stuff like that. So it was very important to have this year when you rethink it and to slow down. And it's the same with the artists. So for 2021, it's the same. We try to be flexible. We want to release an album in spring. And we all hope that there will be a normal summer like this summer with some small festivals and stuff like that, charity events. I don't want to give a concert in front of cars anymore. That's horrible. I don't know who was thinking this would be great. And and the same for autumn and winter. But yes, as Katarina said, we really have to be flexible.
Daria, we didn't mention that we had really nice concerts, like types of pandemic concerts in Ukraine. I wanted when I was getting ready for the interview, I was remembering that this year, in summer, we had vertical concerts, which so we have a hotel in Kiev, which is quite flat, and the pandemic version of a concert was putting the stage in front of a hotel, and people were allowed to rent a room, and there was 4 people who were allowed to get to this room, so that buying a ticket for room rent, you getting like 4 tickets for the show. And this was really nice version to get these concerts to be done. But unfortunately, I don't see that much money effectiveness in this. So no that much economic thing. It was more to support industry, more to support musicians, and more to support people. But it was not economically effective. And Lea, what was about your adoptive concerts? This playing in front of the cars, was it economically effective?
No, because the income isn't that high as when you have a location where normally 8,000 people go inside. Now there can be like 500. So they can
still you need to put the stage and to put the speakers
and stuff like that. Yes. And then you still have all the crew. You have to pay the crew, you have to pay all the normal things, but the income from the tickets isn't that high because you don't have 8,000, you just have 500. And then you sit there on chairs. It's not the same inspiration as if you've been to a normal concert. And this is the thing that Katarina said. It's not about economic or income or anything. It was about supporting artists, that there are still people needing them and stuff like that. It was another way to show something, but yeah, not economic.
However, I think that from the governmental point of view, they think that we still have some kind of activity, so we did some business and we can survive. But yes, this okay, this is positive interview, yeah. But yeah, it's really tough times for young musicians, for small music bands, and for really creative musicians, but who are not pop, who are not that mainstream, who are more underground, and who actually leads the music stream. They do something really new and they influence the market that much, but they are not seen on the screen and they are not invited to the shows. And they actually really important for the industry, but they are not supported, and they are more they are most needed people in this governmental support.
But we had some festivals and shows where they booked upcoming artists, and it was really nice because they paid, there are locations getting money from the government all the year, and they have to spend it, even if there is a pandemic thing going on. And so they paid them a good fee for the upcoming artists. So we were like, okay, maybe this is the time for upcoming artists. But then the real good concert always were with big artists. All the car concerts were with big artists and stuff like that. Yeah. But the small festivals and all the concerts supported by the government were for small artists. Yeah.
Well, I just hope that these like emerging artists won't extend, because due to these specific conditions we're locked into, because they're really an important part of the whole music industry ecosystem. It's not just about the big artists. Sooner or later, we need new names coming up. And if they won't feel the support, how are we going to have any new names? So that's
next year, the new names will be some IT managers or marketing managers or other people from other industries who had much time spent in their flat, and they had time to learn how to record the music and do something on their laptop. So this is the year 2021 for new artists.
I'm already feeling positive vibes here, and we'll
Yes!
see how it goes. We made it. Positive vibe. Yeah. Okay. Either way, you know what? Time flies when you're having fun. It seems like we're running out of time, so it's time to wrap up our conversations. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, for sharing your thoughts on everything that was happening in this crazy 2020-ish. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. To everyone who took a chance to listen to this episode of Embrace 2020, thank you. There was Lea Preissler from Germany, Katherine Maliukova from Ukraine, Dartsya Tarkovska. Thanks for watching, and until the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.